I never imagined I would be actually walking the halls of my capital, speaking to members about foreign policy. I never imagined I'd be giving speeches before hundreds of people, because I'm afraid to speak. About 13 years ago, my girlfriend called me and invited me to the AIPAC annual membership luncheon. And having 3 children under the age of 7, I just really wanted to go have lunch in the city. I asked her what AIPAC was about, and she said, oh, it's to support Israel. I'm like, okay, I like Israel. I can eat at a table with a tablecloth? Great. I'm not gonna have to cut anybody's meat, and I'm gonna have a nice lunch with my girlfriends.
What happened next changed Gina's life forever.
AIPAC's message resonated with me. Here was a group of people who had developed and maintained a voice with our government. I thought, how smart is that? And right then and there, I said, this is an organization I want to become involved with.
Gina jumped in with both feet, participating in local, regional, and national AIPAC events, as well as building relationships with our nation's leaders.
My first lobbying experience was with Candace Miller, Congresswoman of Michigan. I was as nervous as a kindergartner on her first day of school.
Although Gina received a courteous reception from Representative Miller and her staff, it took lots of time and effort for a real relationship to develop.
When I met Candace, I also met her legislative director, Sean Moran. Sean grew up in Framingham, Massachusetts. That's where I grew up. So we had this wonderful commonality. It was clear to me that Candace relied a lot on Sean, and I would call him or email an interesting article, and we've actually become friends.
This friendship allowed Gina to better educate Sean on the importance of the U.S.-Israel relationship, as well as develop a warm and productive connection with the Congresswoman herself.
Good to see you. Gosh, I really appreciate you coming again.
When I met her, we just immediately had a bond. She was wonderful. She was very passionate about the issues. She was well versed on the issues, but I'll tell you, most important, she was honest. She's just a person that we have all come to rely on. And Team Miller, that's what we call our office here. We're Team Miller, and we sort of look at Gina as a component of Team Miller.
Gina understood that while her relationship with Representative Miller mattered, it wasn't enough. For the pro-Israel movement to succeed, more people needed to forge relationships with their members of Congress. Gina knew just who to call on.
Women have all the qualities it takes to be good pro-Israel leaders. Women are nurturing, they are smart, passionate, and they know how to connect. So they are natural for pro-Israel politics.
Gina reached out to women in her community, creating a network of effective pro-Israel advocates.
Gina has been just great at bringing new women into this and getting them absolutely excited about the mission.
Gina jump-started the process for me.
You can see how you can make a real difference with your own voice, with your own power, and the power to make a difference.
And you kind of say, if Gina can do it, then I can do it.
Probably my biggest personal growth has been due to my involvement in AIPAC. It's an amazing feeling to be able to speak to someone in office and be able to educate them on an issue which relates to Israel and to get positive feedback.
For our survival and for that of our friend and ally Israel, render your full support to this legislation.
The bill is passed.
I have never felt so empowered. America's support for Israel is not inevitable. We can't take it for granted. We need to work hard for it. I commit to AIPAC because I believe passionately that the survival of the Jewish people depends on the survival of Israel. And AIPAC's working to ensure Israel's survival. I don't know how you cannot commit to AIPAC. How could you not get involved in this organization?